that I have enjoyed. I have enjoyed this morning a whole lot. It has helped me a lot. And I'm thankful for it. But you know, that is the way that God works. I mean, He's the only one that can bring light out of a dark place. He's the only one that can seem to find good where all we can find is bad, and despair, and doom and gloom. And even though we get shown that time and again, we still seem to want to fall into the same trap of nothing ever goes right. Look out, what a terrible life that we've got. Nothing ever goes good for us. Look at us. And it's just amazing to me what weak creatures that we are. And it's amazing to me that with the trouble that this world is in, that they are still going in the wrong direction. And I worry about that. I worry that it seems that the world has gone so far that they've almost lost sight of how to get relief. That they've lost sight of what it was they were even seeking for in the first place. But then I read and I see that it's nothing new. That the majority will always take the path of least resistance. And it's always just a little minority that seems to be able to look a little deeper. It's always been that way. And I think about that one time when Jesus was preaching to them, and the scribes and the Pharisees, they were just all around him. They couldn't get away from him. These are the people that were so used to being able to walk around and get all the attention. They were the people to be reckoned with, and they were the important people. They were the ones that people turned to for wisdom, and they had all the money, and they dressed the best out of everybody. And when they came into a room, the people in the good seats would get up and get out of their way. And they thought nothing of taking those seats because they deserved it. These people always talked about serving God, and someday that God would send the Messiah down and restore our kingdom. And I will really be something in that kingdom when that happens. You'll all see. But when Jesus came, a poor man, he didn't have all the fancy clothes, and he didn't come demanding those seats where everybody could see him. But you know what? Unlike everybody else that was poor and in that condition, when the Pharisees and the scribes came in the room, Jesus didn't back up. He'd get in their face, and he would point to them, and he would tell everybody that the scribes and the Pharisees, they want everybody to look at them. They want to sit in Moses' seat, and they want all the attention. And he would look at them, and he'd say, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees." Now listen, he says, "For you pay tithes and things of that nature, and you think it makes you something. But you've omitted the weightier matters of the law, the important things. You've forgotten all about the important things of God because you're so concerned about being important to these people here. You're so concerned about all those things that, listen, you've forgotten about the law and judgment and mercy and faith. And these are the things that you should have kept first. Listen, and he began to rebuke them and to come down on them pretty hard. Listen, he said, woe unto you. For you make, for you may clean the outside of the cup and the platter, and you wash yourself up to look real pretty. But listen, but inside in your heart, you're still full of extortion and evil. Listen, and he called them blind. Why, he said, you blind Pharisees, listen, but clean up. Why, listen, but clean up that which is within, that the outside may become clean also. Today, listen, and he said, you're like those white tombstones, those sepulchres over there. Listen, you're all white and washed and cleaned up, all pretty, but inside you're full of dead man's bones today. Listen, and I worry about, listen, that's what so many people of God, Bob, it's what we was talking about. Listen. Why? And Jesus told them, he said, outwardly you appear righteous unto people here, listen here, but people, I'm telling you, but inside you're still full of hypocrisies and lies today. Listen here, people, I want you to understand something. Oh, God, you can't say to yourself that God understands me. God knows my heart. Listen, you better believe he does. But you need to understand something. You need to understand something yourself. There's only one way you're going to get to heaven, and it's not by thinking that God understands you. Lord. And Jesus, he continued to rebuke them there. And he accused them there as he talked to them. And he looked out at the people there, and he said to them, he said, you stoned all the prophets, and you killed the children of God. And he said, but you want to say that, well, if we would have been in the days of our fathers, we wouldn't have been guilty of that. We'd have never done those evil things. Listen, we'd have never put old Jeremiah down in the pit if we'd have been back then. We'd have never put old Daniel in the lion's den. Oh, God, listen, but Jesus told them, he said, that the blood of the righteous is going to be on your heads, the son, because you are your father's children. How many times in this world, if you went door to door right now and asked people if they believed in God or why they don't, you know what? Or if you told them a story out of the Bible, and they'd say, and now if I'd have been back then, if I'd have seen Jesus raise someone from the dead, then I would believe. But Oh, my, don't you think that the children of Israel, when they was wandering around in the wilderness, and the generations that followed, don't you think they said, well, if we'd have seen Moses do those miracles, if we'd have seen the Red Sea parted, then we would have believed them. Hundreds of years it's gone on, thousands of years it's gone on, that one excuse after another, son, oh my Lord, he took the excuses away there, and you know, he told them there. He was standing at the temple there, and he said, he cried out to him there, oh Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them that I've sent to you. How often would I have gathered you together as a hen does her chicks under her wings? How many times have I wanted to reach out and pull you in and just hold you in my protection, but you would not. Oh, he said, your house is left to you desolate. Listen, you know what that means. You know how the dictionary defines that. It says desolate is a place without any hopeless sun. If you don't have hope in your life, that means you don't have Jesus there. People, Jesus, he is my hope. Listen, and I'll never be left desolate again. When he came in, and you know what? And after he said that, and I always wondered about it, he said, for I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth until you shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. And you know, I always thought that was some kind of prediction, that they would not see him again until they heard those words. But you know what? If you read that down in Hebrew, Brandon, that wasn't a prediction, that was a condition. Oh, are you desolate? Are you without hope? Listen, are you all alone? Why? One definition said that desolate means no warmth and no hope. Another one said it's the condition of losing a loved one. Oh, God, I got news for this world until they cried, blessed is the name of the Lord. Brandon, they're going to be without hope today. Aren't you glad that you are without hope? I know I am. Listen, I know how miserable I'd be, and just like Paul said, if we had hope of this life only, I'd be of all men most miserable. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed what we felt here today. Listen, and when you felt that, when you felt good today, did you feel like you had hope? Did you feel a little stronger all of a sudden? How easy it is for God to just reach out and strengthen us a little bit, just that quick there. Now, are you ready to go on a little while longer now without giving up? I know I am. Oh, God, he's been so good to us. He's given us so much opportunity. You know what, Bob, what I was thinking about, when you guys, when you came into church, listen,
why? And your kids was already growing up, and I've heard you lament so many times that why didn't we start sooner? Before your kids was already running around, before your kids was already making up their minds. And I've heard you mourn about that, but you know what? The way God works, listen, that one you've got right there. Listen, she's never known a Poppy. Listen, that's not served God. She's never known, her grandparents when they didn't know my Lord. Listen, oh God, why? And someday, why you may be taken around in the water, and her aunts and uncles be standing on the shore. Listen, I've seen God work 20 years down the road. Listen, way out in front of us. Aren't you glad He works that way? But you know what? You throw in the towel now. Listen, and God may say, I need your help with this. I need you to help lead this charge for me. Down the road, I've got work coming, and I'm going to need these people ready to go. Listen, aren't you glad that He works that way? Aren't you glad that He knows what's coming? Listen, I was listening to one of those old recordings. Listen, Brother Ivory Showers from 1968, and I was listening to him, and you know, and it took me back then. How I loved to hear him preach. Listen, just a little bitty guy, but he set the church on fire. And then I thought about, you know what? He was so well liked, and he was so popular, and right in the midst of that, he walked out into the street, and they was working on the road out there, and a car ran one of those construction cones and hit him and killed him. And I remember when that happened, I thought, Lord, what's going on, God? Surely, Lord, he was serving you. God, what are we going to do? Oh, God, when my papa lay in the hospital, listen, when he laid there, I'd never even met him. About 1955, he was burned up from head to toe. Listen, and they said, why, he ain't gonna live. Why, and he couldn't feel a thing, but he was awake. Listen, and he talked to Mama while he was laying there. He still had 6 little children at home, and back in those days, there wasn't a whole lot of help out there. He had 6 little children at home, and he had 3 that was already grown and out of the house. Oh, God. And they said if he lived 9 days, then he's probably gonna make it. And you know what? On that 11th day, Brandon, he was laying there, and he told Mama, he said, you know what? He said, if I thought that me leaving this world would cause one of my children to turn to God, he said, I'd be ready to go. And you know what? And she walked out in the hallway and just stood there for a minute, and then he left this world. But oh, God, and you know what? And I've seen all 9 of his children come into church. Listen, as the years went on, I've seen many of his grandchildren come into church. And you know what? I heard that story preached before I'd ever called on the Lord myself. Oh, my God, He knows what He's doing. He don't make no mistakes. Listen, my Lord, He's working for us. We just need to hold on.
Get yourself the other way.
It's no wonder when Moses was at the brink of the river, they had a raging river on one side, a sea. They couldn't get across, and they had an army behind them, determined to wipe them all out. And you can imagine the panic and the screaming that was going on. The mothers trying to hide their children. The men trying to protect their families. Didn't have a weapon among them. A bunch of slaves and farmers. And Moses just stood there. He held up his hands and he said, stand still.
Yeah.
Stand still and see the salvation of God. And they stopped, and God moved in. And I believe it's still the same.